Pow Wow, yo, yippee, yay, guys. Part number 16, and I'm super excited to be with you guys today. As always, we're going to dive into the love of the community, then talk about what's happening on SwissBorg network, and talk about commenting what's happening on the markets. In this exciting episode, we're going to talk about, of course, about XBorg, the X representing and the pre-sales is going to happen, but we'll have actually a dedicated video only for XBorg 2. We'll be talking as well about Galactica network, as this is one of the most exciting layer 1 that is bringing really Web 2 identity within Web 3. So as you guys know, my name is Presale, the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg, always here to serve you. Good question from Rupalo. Question of the week from the community. Does anyone know if the rebalance of the thematic classes taxable transactions to the UK? We're not. Everyone has its own way of seeing different things. Some interpretations should be no. Some people's could be yes. We're not tax specialists. That's something to please consider. I know that in some countries, people need to, for example, keep for a long time their investments, like in the US, I think so. You have to take it at least a year, calendar year, for not making taxes. So I think so, jurisdiction has a different one. The thematic, what it really is, it's a way that enables people to buy different assets individually. So it's not an ETF, it's really a basket that you own, and it trades for you in order to be able to take some profits on some great tokens to be rebalancing, reshuffling the others that haven't took those performance yet. So this is really it. So Rupaloop, sorry if I did answer you or did not answer your question, but everyone has his own opinion regarding that, and every jurisdiction is very different from the other. News of the week. Obviously, there is two big topics we're talking about. The biggest one is Hong Kong finally being able to launch their own ETFs or at the approval of the ETFs, so not having launched yet. And they're already in talks with Ether as well. So this is really, really good. This is really going to be a massive game changer because there's a lot of money in crypto in Hong Kong. This is not mainland China, so don't get excited. There's still, of course, a lot of money from mainland China that is in Hong Kong, but this is already a huge big plus for the crypto market, and they're definitely going to be launching their own essentially ETFs. So this is going to be really, really good. The second thing is Uniswap with this SEC case. Essentially, SEC is not very excited to have a decentralized player taking over, financial markets, which makes 100% sense. So they want to figure out how this is going to be regulated. And I've said this already since, I think so, 2017, 2018. The full decentralization with no regulation, I don't think so is ever going to happen. If you're trading assets, it's a very difficult one to really do. So I do presume that Uniswap has already integrated or looking towards how to do KYC. What I believe, of course, more importantly, is that sooner or later, with Galactica, with having the zero knowledge identity on chain will be the solution, because that will really enable you to trade in the best way possible and to be eligible for trading and at the same time be compliant. So this is definitely what we've been looking, always a step ahead regulation, because at the end, you really want to make sure that you're delivering the best experience, but at the same time, you are compliant. Last but not least, Eigenlayer is about to launch on Ethereum mainnet, which that is exciting. And by the way, we have the possibility for people to stake Ether in SwissBorg with Eigenlayer, which is today one of the hottest topic in DeFi, no doubt. So the Bitcoin market updates, we're definitely seeing a lot of chaos, right, as we speak, right? There's definitely a lot of people taking, I think so, profits before the beautiful in 3 days from now, our wonderful halving season happening in 3 days. So a lot of people are taking profit from that. There is obviously the macro perspective that is a bit challenging as well. You know, we were talking about everyone, the consensus was pretty sure that the rates would be cut in June. I always believed, and I said this multiple times, that's going to be at the year end. So it'll be late Q3 for me, or if not in Q4, but nothing probably before summertime. I was always expecting at the earliest end of September. and that would probably be dragged towards the elections itself. So now with the wars, potentially world war happening, that is definitely not helping the situation. There's some things regarding inflation which are good for cutting rates, but the macro perspective is not great. So a lot of risky assets has been tapped. This last Friday, Saturday was a huge bloodbath, a lot to be made for traders, and congrats for those who had the guts to do it. And there was a lot to be done on Friday, Saturday, and even on Sunday, to be honest, and even Monday. This is really the trading season where you're seeing +5 and -7 in the same day. So there's a lot of possibility to do mean reversion strategies. If you look at Fibonacci, Akita Sage is, I think, it's a really playing point on multiple different signals that he's showing on Twitter. So there is a lot of different ways to play. But what I would say overall is when you see like shit hitting the fan, gold is doing very well and Bitcoin is not, which it really is an inflation edge, which is really an edge versus the stupid atrocities that human beings do to each other. But it's not playing as well as gold. And that's a bit the sad part. What is very weird right now is that the 2-year bond is not trading too well, but the yield is very high and the index dollar is doing very well. So the dollar is actually doing extremely well, probably because there's not going to be rate cuts. Is not planned for this year. Right now, these things change all the time. But it looks like, the dollar is definitely right now doing well, such as gold as well, and Bitcoin not yet. So maybe it's just regarding our situation, and then things will span out and we will see a lot of beautiful inflows into the markets. From the institutional side, there's no real outflows or inflows. So it's really hard to understand what Bitcoin is doing. What I've been saying is before the halving, we really want to go back to some level where we're like, okay, we're at 60 or 58 or 55, I think so at lowest. And then we want to see that history repeats itself. It doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. You really want to see that huge Bitcoin confirmation of bull run right after halving. So I think so. Some has to do with that. There's obviously the macro perspective, as I said, for the rates. There's this whole World War III that won't happen. Again, I have no side, of course, in this conflict besides human beings. What I want is peace. What I want is just stop this bullshit egocentric thing where people are playing with people's lives or with fireworks and try to pretend they're going into war. There won't be no war between Israel and Iran. That's pretty much sure. Iran has not been any war for almost centuries, besides with the Iraq one. But that was a bit different situation back then. So I don't think so. Anyway, the regime there is going to attack Israel. And I don't think so Israel is ever going to dare to attack Iran either. Because if not, the whole conflict goes just bigger with Russia and the US and all that. And it becomes something that is too big for the boots of any of these two countries. So all in all, I think that me perspectively, we're going to go into the bull run. We're already in the bull run. We're going into the next bull run phase with the halving happening. For me, nothing has changed. Just that there is the chance for multiple people that have been on the sideway, waiting for time to get in. And people that have fresh powder and fresh money, well, it's probably a time to recharge and get back into it. And if you look at what's happening in the markets, everything is minus. It's discounted from 30 to +% to even more or less. And that is great, because if you buy something that was at $10, now it's at $7, say minus 30%, to get back to $10, it's not 30%, it's 50%. So this is, I know many of you probably know that, but a lot of people don't know it. So just to get back to the means on most of these tokens today, it's 50%. So this is something that is very interesting. And that will probably be a great way for people to enjoy this fantastic cycle. Talking about fantastic cycle, I've been really blessed in the last, I would say, days, meeting so much amazing people. The one in MetaFest was amazing, but of course, New Economics in Paris was just a really, really cool people. All the nice people that were cheering SwissBorg, people, partner companies that were really bringing their best game and trying to entertain people in the best way possible. News Economic, check it out. Hopefully, you'll be there at the next episode.
Don't stop.
We are a series of financiers, mathematicians, engineers, and degenerates.
And we truly believe that AI and blockchain is really the future.
Is it a trend or is it trendy?
The transformative potential of blockchain and AI.
Recognize that your community is that IP.
We think Web3 really as a tool.
Next step for all of us is to be augmented by those technologies.
Design stories to build virtual world.
Through artificial intelligence, the continuation of humanity.
Gaming and crypto is the future. And in the next couple of years, everyone will have 3D models of their infrastructure.
If you want to save democracy, you need to bring trust.
A new infrastructure for the world where we can co-own the internet.
Another one, Crypto Jazz. I had to do this one, but the Keynote, man, and this is really it. I don't know this song, but so the Keynote is happening, of course, in Montbenon as we did last year. There's already over 300 plus people that are attending. It's on May 7th. It's going to be at 5 o'clock. It's going to go probably to 9 o'clock, and then probably after we'll have some beers and some drinks. So this is the greatest moment for SwissBorg to really reveal its white paper, to be able to bring what is the Borg, how are we going to evolve as a community, how the token is really going to play a big, huge part into the SwissBorg app going forward, and how we're going to be able to decentralize it. You've heard this multiple times. It's going to be on May 7th. I do think that we will have a video session that will happen probably on the 8th, and then we might have like a Discord or something that you'll have like an AMA going the next following weeks. So please try to make it. It's going to be really cool. It's great timing. Probably will have even good weather and a great venue, and very close to our community that we love so much. If you're interested in other events, we're having a lot of other cool events. There's one tomorrow actually happening, two tomorrow happening actually with New Economics, but as well with the Coin Bureau too. So it's going to be really, really cool. That's in Dubai. We talked about the Keynote, of course. We will have other ones as well on 11th May with Ruby Chain. Going forward, we'll be in Cannes for the Lions Club with our wonderful partners, Partouche. We will have a VIP boat party as well happening in Zug on Thursday 20th. We'll have other ones hopefully in Germany too. And last but not least, I will not attend this one personally, but we will have ETHCC Brussels. That will be a really, really cool one. That'll be unveiling as well nice things. If you want to take part in any of these things, and almost I forgot, Intro to the Crypto will happen in Lausanne. This will be reserved for women edition. So please scan here and you could check out all the different essentially events on Luma. It's a great way to promote for events. Quick one regarding essentially UK promotion status. Just wanted to give you a quick update. We really had to manage to get to be compliant in a very short amount of time. We've been working very, very hard with G21, that is our auto-regulated company that enables us to offer services to our dear UK citizens. And I think so, we've really been able to now be able to re-onboard people and make the app work as it was. Obviously, this had to do a lot to do with making the form and changing the entire, essentially, screens and everything within SwissBorg. We are about to deliver all of this as well, even a better way with a better UX into the app this time without even using Typeform. This will enable really to make assessments for you to understand, UK users, what are the different bricks that you could use into the SwissBorg app, and how do you really get to understand the risk and investing into these different essentially services. this is happening imminently, so we're going to be re-onboarding UK users, new users too, going forward. I'm very, very excited about that. Of course, some people think that this is, always bad news, but it's not. It is what it is, and if the regulator has to take some new steps in order to protect their users, well, then SwissBorg has to comply with that. We have to make these steps as fast as possible. And I think so. This is a huge work from what has happened internally. So many people put us extra hours, like crazy extra hours, to make this happen, all for you guys. So my dear British Borgers, I hope you're going to enjoy the app even more. So far, 40% have already been able to resume their access to Deposit Exchange and do other different services. And this will only continue going forward. As I said, that the UX is going to be even better. XBorg is live. The pre-sale is about to happen. It's going to happen in the next week. I'm very, very excited to talk about that. It'll happen on the 25th, 4th of this month. If you are, it has already over 21 million, I think, of commitment, which is crazy. I think so. There's a huge amount of people that are already, I think so, 12,000 people that want to participate. This is done in a KYC matter. The only people that'll be able actually to get into it will be probably people who will have a Prometheus chestplate NFT on a Magic again to get the best allocation and discounts to early access to. So that's something that again shows the faith that we have in this community. We'll have a video coming out right after tomorrow with Louis himself and Louis and myself actually. So looking forward to the XBorg. Bring the X. Galactica network. As you guys know, Galactica is the layer 1 blockchain of SwissBorg. The big difference, what it is that how you can monetize your Web 2 identity and passport into Web 3. This has been really what it is. Where you've seen that billions of people got into Web 2, only few people made billionaires out of it. And this is not normal. People have just stole your data. You're learning to their platform, stole your data and just been selling it, right? And making a huge amount of money on that. Web3 is regaining control of that access, being able to finally monetize what you want, keep private what you want, and be able to really freely have this peer-to-peer culture. I think so. This is what I believe one of the most important chapters you're going to see going forward. Here, if you haven't done this right away, please go to your MetaMask and make it happen and get your Zika KYC or Zero Knowledge KYC. So the first step is very easy. What you have to go is galactica.com, then get your Zika KYC, right? Then this will bring you to the next page. You just start your KYC. You have to have your MetaMask, of course. Start your KYC. It'll ask you a confirmation of your wallet. Once that's done, it's done. You then fill up your name. This is your own KYC that you do yourself. You'll have then after SwissBorg one, and different guardians will enable you to do that. Connect to your MetaMask. You go on next, so you have to validate each time that this is happening because it's bringing your off-chain data into the on-chain world, right? You connect your MetaMask here once more, which is easy. So there you go. It will be here to connect your MetaMask to make sure that the hashes is done between 1 and 2. Then you're going to start testing the testnet of Galactica here. It's very easy. You'll have to then make sure that you receive your 10 GNT. Once you receive the GNT, you have to put your address, or this, you just have the little mouse here, another little fox here, just to put what's your address, or you could come from there and get it if you want. Once that done is that you could directly, again, reconfirm the transaction, and that's your wallet. You have access it. Now you're going to be receiving the 10 GNTs. Okay, there you just press on the button where it says the transaction hash has happened. Sometimes it takes a little bit more time than others. So please, Web3 is not still, flash as we know. Here you see that I connect the 10 GNT. I got it, which is great. Then what you really want to do is you could go back to the testnet itself. You're going to go for the KYC approval from your own account. It takes some time. For me, it took like a minute or so. I will do the last confirmation to make that's really my wallet. Then I have access to it. Once that's done is you could download your KYC certificates so that you store yourself off chain, right? And And then once that's stored, essentially you could upload it. You're going to be able to upload your SBT. So SBT, which is very important, is it's yours. It cannot be transferred. SwissBorg token, it really belongs to yourself. So in this case, I'm gonna essentially upload it to show that I have this thing. Is generating your first SBT. You could have multiple different SBTs going forward. This is very important as well, right? That will have to match each other. But you could have like this is the first one that you're creating. The second one could be the one from SwissBorg. And then as we add guardians, we'll have more and more different SBTs essentially. So this is pretty much what it is. And when it's published, then you have essentially your identity on chain that's stored off chain, and it's done. And this, again, why this is so amazing, it's that it's the only platform today that layer one that is really working on this thesis to create this new cipher state that enable you to monetize your data and be compliant at the same time, right? It will enable you to finally, make sure that you are the right person, that you're eligible to do this, be eligible to do that, and get rewarded for this, right? The website, I really recommend you check out Galactica. It's getting better and better as we think this. So you can look at the deck itself, the guide to the citizenship, which is really cool. You have here, it's really how this is changing the game itself. We'll have the team invited to make sure that we're really doing this. You have Azili as well, that is enabling you to get a lot of different XPs. This will be, I'm not should say it, but this will be enable way to get something else going forward. So for example, I have onboarded 6 out of 10. I still have much more to done here, like as says, claiming your Galaxy SBT and doing a lot of different other rewards, right? So I still myself have to do it, but I recommend you guys definitely to do this. There's a lot of points to be earned. This enables you to participate into the vaults, into SwissBorg, and probably to get something more on top. And maybe last but not least, which is very important, of course, Galactica has partnered up with SwissBorg, has partnered up with Luna Crush, it has partnered up with Ocam. There is already 5,500 wallets in less than 10 days that have done their SBTs, and that's a huge amount of people. There's validators, the SwissBorg community, and a lot of different other people around the world that are doing this. This is a really big game changer, because if you look at any dApps, there's a really small amount of people in terms of unique address wallets. So this is really good. There is a big partnership that will be announced, but I'll let these guys do it. I'm very excited. There's much more that is working very hard. Again, this is a project that is being done for now over 2 years, working hard on the tech side and now really on the partnership and making sure that we Borgers are going to plenty take advantage of this in the best way possible. Community member of the week, I have to talk about the Borgers internally. Wonderful Borgers have been able to create a song as Here Comes the Bull. Check this out right now. Guardians, just to let you know, there's been a fair amount of tokens, so 683,000 tokens that have been bought back. There is still to be completed $125,000, so more to come. Last week was about Dark Machine Alpha Opportunity. It was really a good success. I would say in difficult markets. Let me know what you thought about Dark Machine. If you participated, you haven't, and what are the reasons you did or did not. What is very nice is that we had 62% of new subscribers. A lot of new users came into this alpha thanks to essentially Dark Machine, which is really great. We raised a bit more than $2 million, which is fantastic. I think so. The total was a little bit more than that, but at the end, I think so. It was definitely a great success and a great way to bring new community members and to get access to something that is a big changer. The game itself is amazing. The network that they have is really cool. So looking forward to the next one. Borg and some data last week, a little bit shyer. Of course, a lost 22% coming from, well, the whole market itself. But 358 new and upgraded premium users, which is great. So we're close to 150,000. Hopefully that will happen next, 55,000. Hopefully that will happen next week. And regarding volume, the total volume is pretty much similar to last week, but I would say the activity weekly users is much smaller though. So this is pretty much similar to last week. There's a big uptick on Friday and Saturday, even on Sunday was quite a big one. Net inflow is not that great either, and KYC, unfortunately, new users, well, we stopped on UK, so that's probably one of the main reasons. But that will be reason very soon. Bring us to the community index. Last week it was 6.1, so a little bit pulled back from the previous ones, which were very high. Now this is unfortunately not a great week, not a bad week either, but not a great week relatively to these high numbers that we had in March and even early April. So yeah, things are going a little bit south, but still I think Solrizio is quite strong. Beautiful Borgers, another week again. This is definitely the moments we're getting tested as investors. It's in these times that people don't realize how hard it's to be in crypto, or it's probably very easy for some of you guys. It's just that volatility is your friend. This roller coaster is what generates a huge amount of wealth. The riskier, well, the better essentially the performance is, especially when you are selling fiat and getting into crypto, right? So this is something you always have to remind yourself, is to build this resilience, see on the long run. Don't get into this, this narrative of World War III or things, doomsday and all that. This will never happen. It just will never happen. There's definitely places in the world right now that really have a difficult living, but most probably people listening today here, there's nothing to fear from World War III. There's nothing to fear about COVID killing us all and all that. All of these narratives that are pushed onto from social media to all these news is just to create, panic. And I think that even if today there's many people and many countries that are not living what they should be, it's all due to centralized power, that people have huge ego and are bringing their countries into really dark days. And I think so what we're doing with Web3 is, of course, today we're building our wealth and we're becoming financial free, or even doing more than that, which is wealth accumulation and changing our lives, but our legacy as well. I think we have to remind ourselves why we're doing this. It's not only for building wealth, it's for building this legacy, right? Blockchain, it's a book, it's a ledger. Each time there's a transaction that is done, that suggests to yourself writing into your book, being the protagonist of your life and trying to make a change in investing, yielding, voting on different mechanisms, and trying to decentralize, or to at least bring a new way to build wealth in a more sustainable way going forward. How to monetize tomorrow your data in a better way, how to get into a lot of different projects that you believe have a great nature, or have at least something that is different from what you've seen so far. And I think so this is the most beautiful thing, is where how you are changing your life on a daily basis. You'll be changing the life of your children, and the great-grandchildren. And eventually this blockchain book is just multiple chapters of your life. And yeah, well, this last week was not the best one. Maybe the next one won't be great as well. But I know one thing, 3 days from now, halving is happening, and we will be witnessing a new nice wave of new inflows, and this is going to bring us to all-time high for sure. So as always, be healthy, be wealthy, love our Borg and equity. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thank you for watching our weekly Pow Wow episode. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to leave a like, and if you didn't, tune in next week anyway, so that you can figure out if it's better then. Bye!